Hello. I do not know where John Galt is, but I know who he is. For the record, I am Ex-Sergeant Commando Latto, Librarian Extraordinaire, Operations Specialist, retired, and I am here at your service because I care. John Galt is the one responsible for designing a revolutionary new locomotive engine without a government grant, study, or other interference. Yet he walked away from it 12 years ago when he realized that he, the individual, would not be free to create and reap the rewards of his new design. His company, or the one he worked for, 20th Century Motor Company, put in place the communist slogan, "From each according to his ability, to each according to his need." It is a scheme that resulted in enslaving the able to the unable. When the able run out of money, everyone loses. If you succeed in life, it should be your decision as to whom you give money, help in any way, or even if you want to help at all, not the government's decision. Government is, by its very nature, inefficient. Government works best that governs least. It is easier to hire a new company to pick up where the old one failed than it is to get rid of any government department, official, or employee that isn't living up to our country's ideals. Mr. Galt believes if everyone is a slave to society and government, the profit motive is removed and society collapses. Some mistake greed for rational self-interest. If society's most productive citizens refuse to be exploited by increased taxation and government regulation, they decide to go on strike, as you see happening now. With the disappearance of so many of these creative minds, you can stop the motor of the world. Without these leaders, government will be left to dry up. We have already seen Congress replaced with a national legislature, our president replaced with a head of state. Where is our Constitution? Why are we emulating failed and failing European socialist, communist, and dictatorial countries? Who is John Galt? This has become a phrase meaning, don't ask important questions because we don't have the answers. Or, what's the point? And the worst of all, why bother? The nation's brightest innovators and business leaders are abruptly disappearing, leaving their top industrial businesses to certain failure. They are following Mr. Galt into Galt's Gulch. To paraphrase Mr. Galt, man's mind is his basic tool of survival. Life is given to him, survival is not. His body is given to him, its sustenance is not. His mind is given to him, its content is not. Man has the power to act as his own destroyer, and that is the way he has acted through most of history. Just as I support my life, neither by robbery nor alms, but of my own effort, so I do not seek to derive my happiness from the injury or the favor of others, but earn it by my own achievement. They say it is selfish to pursue your own wishes. You must sacrifice them to the wishes of others. It is selfish to uphold your convictions. You must sacrifice them to the convictions of others. The man below is a source of your guilt. The man above is a source of your frustration. There is no mouthful of food you swallow that isn't needed by someone somewhere on earth. But under a morality of sacrifice, the first value you sacrifice is morality. The next is self-esteem. They proclaim that every man born is entitled to exist without labor and the laws of reality contrary notwithstanding, is entitled to receive his minimum sustenance, his food, his clothes, his shelter, with no effort on his part, as his due and his birthright. To receive it from whom? You propose to establish a social order based on the following tenets: that you're incompetent to run your own life, but competent to run the lives of others; that you're unfit to exist in freedom, but fit to become an omnipotent ruler; that you're unable to earn your living by the use of your own intelligence, but you're able to judge politicians and to vote them into your jobs of total power over arts you have never seen, over sciences you have never studied, over achievements which you have no knowledge, over the gigantic industries where you, by your own definition of your capacity, would be unable successfully to fill the job of assistant greaser. You praise any venture that claims to be nonprofit, and damn the men who made the profits that made the venture possible. The only proper purpose of a government is to protect man's rights, which means to protect him from physical violence. The only proper functions of a government are the police, to protect you from criminals; the army, to protect you from foreign invaders; and the courts, to protect your property and contracts from breach or fraud by others, to settle disputes by rational rules, according to objective law. You decide to call it unfair that we, who had dragged you out of your hovels and provided you with modern apartments, with radios, movies, and cars, should own our palaces and yachts. You decided that you had a right to your wages, but we had no right to our profits.